Good evening. I've asked you here to my study to discuss a matter of peculiar significance. It began not as a grand inquiry, but as an exercise, a challenge to see if a message could be found within chaos. We began with a simple list of numbers generated at random. These numbers correspond to verses within the biblical text and the book of Enoch, according to a comprehensive numbered list. The task was to gather these verses, 12 in all, and analyze them for any non-random content. My instructions were quite specific. I was to rely solely on the texts themselves, setting aside all modern commentaries and academic databases. My tools were to be the older translations, the Charles Thompson Bible of 1808, a direct translation from the Greek Septuagint, and for comparison, the precise scholarly work of Young and Rotherham. The verses, as you might imagine, appeared at first to be a complete jumble, a veritable potpourri of scripture. Listen. From the prophet Isaiah, "Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise." Isaiah 60:18, from the Chronicles. "And David houghed all the chariot horses, but reserved of them 100 chariots." 1 Chronicles 18:4. And from the Gospel of John, "Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that ye should go and bring forth fruit." John 15:16. Howling horses, salvation for city walls, and the choosing of disciples. Where is the common thread? On the surface there is none. The collection seems to be precisely what it was designed to be, random. But as I sat with these texts, reading them, comparing the nuances of the Greek in Thompson with the literal renderings of Young, a current began to flow beneath the surface. Minor themes emerged. First, a theme of divine sovereignty. We see it in John, "I have chosen you," and again in Deuteronomy, where it is said, "The name of the Lord is called upon thee, setting a people apart." Second, a theme of covenant and witness. The prophet Malachi speaks of the Lord being a witness between a man and the wife of thy youth. And Jeremiah is commanded to take a new scroll and write all the former words that were lost, preserving the covenant. And third, a theme of judgment and purification. We have Zephaniah's warning of the fierce anger of the Lord coming upon the people. And in Leviticus, a promise to break the pride of your power if the covenant is forsaken. These currents, however, all flow into a single great river, one primary theme that gathers all the others into itself. It is a theme of offering, and it leads to a prophecy of immense significance, a prophecy concerning the very nature of worship itself. The central non-random message of these verses points directly to the prophesied incense offering of the last days. To understand this, we must first look to the ancient system. In the Old Covenant, the act of offering was strictly regulated. Sacrifices and incense could only be offered by the Levitical priests, the descendants of Aaron. It was done in a specific place, the Tabernacle and later the Temple in Jerusalem. The offerings were physical, animals, grain, and the meticulously prepared holy incense, what the Hebrew calls qetoreth. Its composition was a divine secret. To replicate it for common use was forbidden. This system was exclusive. It was a physical service performed by a designated lineage in a single location. Now, consider the words of the prophet Malachi in the very first chapter of his book, a verse that serves as the key to this entire puzzle. He writes, "For from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering." Malachi 1:11. Do you see the radical shift? The prophecy declares that a time is coming when this offering is no longer confined. It will be offered in every place. It will be made not just by the Israelites, but among the Gentiles. And it will be a pure offering. The Hebrew here is minchah tehorah. Minchah often refers to a grain or gift offering, and tehorah means pure, clean, uncontaminated. How can this be? How does the exclusive, localized, physical offering of the priests transform into a universal spiritual offering made by all people in every place? The New Testament texts provide the answer. They speak of a fundamental change in the nature of the priesthood itself. The Apostle Peter declares that all believers are a royal priesthood, chosen to show forth the praises of him who called them out of darkness. The writer of Hebrews speaks of a new high priest, not of the Levitical order, who offered himself once for all. Through this new understanding, the nature of the offering is also transformed. It is no longer the blood of bulls and goats or the smoke of physical incense. The book of Revelation describes the prayers of the saints ascending before God from the angel's hand, which held a golden censer with much incense. This is the non-random message that emerged. The verses taken together tell a story of transition. They point from the physical offerings of the tabernacle to a spiritual offering of praise and prayer, from a priesthood of lineage to a priesthood of all believers. The prophecy in Malachi is the destination, the random verses are the signposts along the road. They speak of God choosing a people, establishing a covenant with them, and judging them when they stray. But they also point to a future restoration where the walls are called salvation and the gates are called praise. This pure offering, this minchah tehorah, is the praise and prayer of believers from every nation rising to heaven. It is an offering made pure not by the hands of the priest but by the heart of the worshipper, made clean through the ultimate sacrifice. So you see, what began as a random academic exercise has revealed a profound and consistent narrative woven through the scriptures. A prophecy not of smoke and altars, but of a faith that rises like incense from every corner of the earth. Remarkable, is it not?